Good morning, everybody. I'm in the kitchen, and we're getting ready to make an apple pie cake. And this is going to use a Duncan Hines yellow cake, or whatever kind of yellow cake that you have handy to use. And it's also going to be using 2 cans of apple pie filling. Normally, a lot of times I'll make my own apple pie filling, but today this is just an easy cake, a quick cake, something you can put together quickly, but it's still delicious, and it does not have to have a lot of ingredients. Now, we have our cake mix right here, but we're not going to use the recipe directions on the box. We're going to use our own recipe here. We're going to need 2 cans of pie filling, and before I do this, I need to put 2 teaspoons of cinnamon in the cake mix. It calls for 2 teaspoons. And I use this as my measure. Now, I'm going to stir that up just a little bit. Get that cinnamon worked in there a little. You can do a lot of things with box cake mixes, and you can make a lot of good cakes. Now, this is not one that you're going to have oil or anything like that for. We're going to put in 3 eggs right now. And then we're going to put in our pie filling. Now, a lot of times when I use pie filling, I will sometimes chop it up into smaller pieces. It just depends on how big the pieces are. But you never know until you open the can and see. So I'll open this one up and see what it looks like. It doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. So I think I can just put it in there like it is. That's this little spatula I've got, or silicone thing I've got here, is not wanting to get it out like like I would like it to. That's better. Got a little better. Now we got to open up the other can. And there are going to be some big chunks of apple in this. So, and actually I like the Walmart brand better for this. I like the fact that it's got smaller slices of apples and things like that. Now, I wouldn't want to use this for a pie, but I do like to use it in cakes and things like that. Okay. Now, excuse me. I've got my 9x13 pan already greased. I've got my oven preheating to 350 degrees. Well, now this needs stirred up, so I'm going to see if I can stir it here. I've got all these eggs and stuff around here, and this is probably going to be a fairly thick batter. I usually do better with a big spoon doing this. I can control the spoon better. And I know people are going to say, well, why would you need a spoon? Well, it's just the way my arm works, and it's just easier for me. I'm trying to get all this batter mixed up. I don't want any dry spots in it. Oh, where's my arm out though? Okay, now we're going to pour it in our pan. Excuse me. drives me nuts, y'all. So now we're going to put it in there. And this is going to have to bake about 35 to 45 minutes or until it's done. It varies depending on how much liquid is in your apples. It just varies from place to place. But this is an easy, delicious apple recipe. And now if you want to make this and you want to make it sugar-free, get you a sugar-free cake. Get the sugar-free apple pie filling I posted on my page yesterday and showed you all. And then it's not completely sugar-free, but you are really cutting out a lot of the sugar. So that's a good thing if you're trying to watch it. Now we're going to put this in the oven at 350 degrees. Like I said, it may take 45 minutes. It may take 35. I'll let you know how long I cook mine. And then when you're finished, you're going to make just a powdered sugar glaze with milk and powdered sugar and a little vanilla and put it over the top of it. You can put a little cinnamon in it if you want to, but it's really just totally up to you. Or you can leave it just like this and sprinkle a little powdered sugar on the top and let it go. There's lots of ways you can do it. Let me get this off the... Okay, now we're going to put this in the oven and we're going to let it bake, and I'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, I have my cake in the oven and I checked back my recipe and it says 32 to 37 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean, you know, or it's done. You can usually tell by touching the very center of the cake. So I'm probably going to put mine on about 34, and then I'm going to check it and see how it looks. And if I need it, if it goes longer than that, I'll let you know. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, guys, I baked it 37 minutes. And I made confectioner's sugar, a little half and half of vanilla, and I added just a little bit of cream cheese in with it, and I put it on top of it. So it's just you know, kind of like a light icing. It's not real heavy. But anyway, it smells really good. It's heavy because you got all those apples in there and stuff. But try this. It's an easy cake to make. And if you don't want to put anything on it, just put a little powdered sugar on it if you want to. Or just, I don't know, you could make a brown sugar glaze with a little half and half and brown sugar and a little tad bit butter. A little salt, heat it up. That'll be fine. You know, there's lots of things you can do this. However you like it. If there's a different topping that you like better than this on a cake, then make your topping. Make it the way you want it. And this is just an idea to give people an idea. I actually use some of the cheesecake in a bowl that you buy. The Philadelphia cheesecake mix. And I have just a little bit left in there, a couple tablespoons, you know, kitchen tablespoons. So I mixed it in just to get rid of the bowl because it needed used. And I thought, well, this would be a good place to put it. Anyway, you all try one. It smells really good. And we're going to be making another one in a little bit. It's going to be a Rocky Road chocolate cake. So we'll be back. And guys, you all remember to do something good for somebody else today. Think about somebody else. Sometimes just the least little thing that you do can really brighten somebody else's day. So think about that. Make them a cake. Make a pie. Just something you're good at. I don't know. Maybe you're good at making cards, or maybe you like to call somebody on the phone. Just something to let people know that you're thinking about them and that they matter. So we'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.